Hello, everybody. Welcome to day two of the Finessed Media Music and Tech Summit. I'm so excited to have everyone here today. If it's your first time, welcome. If you're back from day one, welcome back. We're excited to have you back here. My name is Jordan Steele, and I am an events coordinator with Finessed Media, and I will be one of your hosts today. We have a lot of great events for you today, and I hope you all stay tuned. And we're going to kick us off today with Marley, one of our hosts today, to discuss virtual album drops and everything in the virtual world today and for our first event. Finesse Media put on this summit to try to bridge the gap between music and tech, which is an evolution in the music industry happening now. So we're very excited to be able to have these discussions with everyone, and we hope y'all are enjoying it as well. So have fun in Decentraland, walk around us Casa Azul, and I'm going to pass it over to Marley for our first event. Thank you all.
Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be your host today. My name is Marley, and I will be hosting the Metaverse, the Connected Fan Metaverse Edition, where we'll discuss how quickly the evolution of virtual music has been changing music promotion and fan engagement in the industry, from virtual album drops to tour kickoff events to permanent metaverse worlds where fans can connect year-round. We'll also talk about the interactivity between music and technology and how you can really make an audience and a fan base within the metaverse. I have three awesome panelists with us today. My first panelist I want to introduce is Andrew Schiffman. Can you come to the stage, please?
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Excellent, thanks for having me.
Awesome, I'm on to also invite John Ricker to the stage and Jeanine Smith.
How y'all doing?
Hi.
This is so cool. So everyone is currently in Decentraland right now in Casa Azul, having a great time. You'll see their little avatars later, but give them a little wave, say hello.
Oh, how you doing? What's
Awesome.
up, y'all?
So, my first question for you guys is, I just want you guys to introduce yourselves really quick and say what you're excited about most around this topic. And I'll start with Andrew.
Hey guys, how you doing? Andrew Schiffman. From the accent, I'm from London, but I'm living in New York. Been in the music space for over 20 years. Followed the tech from CD and cassette to streaming to where we are today. Currently advising a couple different companies. One in the crypto space called Rally, where we create digital currency for creators as well as NFTs. And I think the metaverse is definitely going to be a platform for artists to be able to engage and monetize their community.
Thank you, Andrew. And what about you, Jeanine? What are you most excited about, and where are you coming from?
Yes, I am most excited. Well, first, I am Jeanine. I am the founder and CEO of Sorority Records, which is a metaverse music and media company. Right now, Sorority Records has their own metaverse, my own prototype of a metaverse, because I believe that the metaverse has to be accessible. You ask the average person, do you have a crypto wallet that you're buying Ethereum and linking to other worlds? They'd be like, what you talking about? So I have created a model where people can just log in, see what it would look like to have a virtual world. I'm also an advisor to a metaverse company called BitTrees, and basically it's in development of the three angles of the metaverse, which is business, technology, and community. And of course, I have been a musician and a professional Grammy-nominated songwriter since, well, I guess for the past 18 years. So I'm happy to be here. And I'm most excited about the opportunities for artists in the music, in the metaverse.
Beautiful, beautiful. And hello, John. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us what you're most excited about today?
Hey, how y'all doing? John David Ricker. I'm standing in San Diego right now. I work with the team at Adobe House. It's a creative and media agency. And we focus on scaling community for our partners, and more so now we're facing Web3 based companies that and people. You don't have to be a conglomerate. You can just be a personal brand, but that are looking to position themselves as the internet and web evolves and crypto and metaverse. And so, I come from a background of mostly events and record label. So I was in LA doing a lot of events, and as COVID shut things down, you couldn't really pack thousands of people into a cramped space in South LA. So there's been a pivot towards Web3 and crypto as it's ramped up in the past 2 or 3 years, and especially lately as you're all standing in Decentraland. So that's kind of what I'm excited for, seeing the future iterations of what comes out of this bubbling space right now. Everybody got excited, and rightfully so. But I think in the future, it's going to be even cooler to see what people can do with some technology that is coming up in the space.
Definitely. I feel like right now today I said this yesterday, but experiencing a bit of history, but also a bit of the future at the same time. When I was running around Decentraland yesterday, I was like, I feel like I really am in a video game. Like I am here. It's like they scanned my body and put me into this virtual world. And that's super cool. Like the possibilities are really endless. So I'm excited to talk about what artists, not only artists, but brands in general can do to build an audience in the metaverse, gain traction, gain promotion, and have that technical virtual interaction with each other. So some people, it is their first time ever in the metaverse here today. Can you guys explain quickly just what the metaverse is? John, can you give us the first tidbit?
Yeah, it's basically the evolution of the internet and how people interact with the internet. A lot of people kind of are blowing it up in like it's something super brand new, and these virtual worlds have existed before, and with new technology, with like blockchain technology and crypto, there's new things that make these virtual worlds more exciting, so you can own things and do a bunch of currency and stuff. But it's basically just an extension of how people use the internet, with virtual reality. Augmented reality will be even cooler, I think. And then extended reality, which is kind of just humans in physical Earth, non-digital Earth, that are interacting more so with like a digitalness embedded into their everyday lives.
Awesome. Jeanine, do you have anything to add?
Yes. The metaverse is a virtual universe. Anything that you can do in the real world, you'll be able to do it in the metaverse. The metaverse is basically the evolution of communication. It is the next wave of communication. Remember, at one time, the internet was like this cumbersome thing that was optional. You still had snail mail, email was new, and it was like, email? Yeah, okay, whatever. Hand me that paper over there, do these files. And now, look where we are. Facebook and Instagram run the world. That's where we're headed.
Beautiful. Andrew, any last words?
I mean, it's every gamer's dream, right? To create your own avatar and insert yourself into real life situations. It's an incredible space because you can interact with people globally, and it's just a way to interact and wear digital goods and see digital art and experience music, and which we'll probably get into later. But I mean, it's every gamer's dream to insert themselves. If anyone hasn't seen the movie Ready Player One, that will basically explain everything. And we could probably leave right now for the next 50 minutes, but watch that movie if you haven't afterwards. That will give you a very good insight into where I think we are going. And, we've been here for years and years. My kids grew up 5 years ago playing Roadblocks, and they still play a little bit of Fortnite, but it's basically, the next generation are already living and interacting in this space. And I think it's Web3 at its core, going into the metaverse. So
very, very cool. I remember that movie. I actually never saw it, but I remember wanting to see it so bad.
Gotta check it. Yeah.
I'm terrible at keeping up with film. That's why I'm a music industry person. But this is still a very big new idea for a lot of people. So what is a good starting point for them to get involved? Jeanine, can you start us on that conversation?
Yes, the best place to start is by listening, reading. I think that a lot of times, like everybody has a different idea of what the metaverse can be. And that's why it's important to learn what you think it is and then start contributing after you have an understanding. It's still in development. And that's the best thing about this. So my best way to encourage people would be research NFTs. Go to Twitter and hashtag, punch in the hashtag NFT, punch in the hashtag Web3, really start metaverse hashtags. And from there, there's Singularity Hub, there's YouTube, there's podcasts, there's Apple Podcasts. People are talking about this on a regular basis. So the research is really being done in real time. It's like we're building the plane and flying it at the same time. So I would advise people to become sponges and take in everything that's said and then decide what they want to contribute.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that analogy of building a plane and flying it at the same time, and reminding folks who are watching that there is research out there and you just have to look for it and it's very accessible. John, do you know any places that they can go now to learn more, any like collectibles that you're a part of even?
Yeah, so there's kind of two ways to go, and it kind of depends on what people want to do. Um, a big thing about Web3 is kind of taking on like responsibility for like private keys. If you're deep into crypto, like you have to own your passwords and no one can know them, and so if you kind of are down that road, then the best thing you could do is read every day. There's nothing, there's no other experience you can get, even if someone is guiding you, than reading yourself. But for a lot of people, it is kind of like, I don't want to go down a super big rabbit hole, and I need someone I can trust, and someone that I can identify with, that I do trust, through kind of a weird world of sometimes super techie stuff and sometimes kind of weird things. I don't know, like it's new technology, so you have to kind of find people that you can put your trust in. But going on, these big virtual worlds, going on Decentraland or Crypto Voxels or Sandbox or virtual worlds that are all, blockchain based. Go on CoinMarketCap and see cryptocurrencies, and then you can see virtual world coins and kind of go from there. But like I said, and Jeanine said, this is literally being built as we're talking. This won't be the same in 1 year's time, probably. But go on YouTube, search anything on Google. What is a metaverse? TikTok, you can go on John David Ricker on TikTok, little plug. But talk to a friend too. I mean, once you're interacting with what you gravitate towards off top, then it's just you'll go deeper and deeper.
Definitely. Andrew, did you have any other platforms that people can go to after today to further the conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, you have to know your entry point. Are you a fan or are you an artist? And what do you want to get out of experiencing the metaverse? Entry points for me, and I've only been in this space probably a year, Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces. Follow rooms that have metaverse, NFT, Web3 in the title. Go in those rooms, ask questions, listen, make notes, start interacting with some of the hosts and people in the room. Follow them, ask them questions. You are gonna find it easier to enter this space if you don't know anything about it from being in those rooms.
Definitely.
Trust me. And I could throw out one person to follow. Her name's Natalie Crew, CRUE. She is a OG. She's focused on the metaverse, putting together festivals, in crypto voxels. So track her down in Twitter Spaces and Clubhouse, listen to what she's got to say, follow her events. She has the mvmf.live. That's a great site for all of her kind of festivals that she's producing in the metaverse. So Natalie, Twitter Spaces and Clubhouse, you need no more.
Thank you so much for that plug. That really helps a lot for people at home watching, because like I said, this is a big idea for you guys who have been involved. It might seem simple to you now, but for a lot of people, it's this, like Jeanine said, when email first came about, when the first iPhone came about, it's this new thing, it's weird, it's big, and it's intimidating. So I appreciate you guys introducing it as something simple and just something that you can listen for and you can research on your own and things like that. So I really appreciate that. Are there any topics?
It's not as hard as people might think. I'm just going to throw that out.
Exactly. What topics do you guys get most excited to learn more about? What are you Googling? What are you searching? Tell us just what topics get you most excited. Jeanine, let's start with you.
I'm most excited about the NFT space, and a great place to learn about NFTs would be DAO Records. They have a parcel and an area in crypto voxels. They're always having DAO drops on, I believe, Fridays, and I rarely miss a DAO drop. But I'm excited about NFTs because right now, music artists, it takes 5,000 streams to make $20, which is the cost of a CD. As we know, CDs have been made obsolete by Spotify, Apple Music, and Tidal. And while these streaming services, I'm a subscriber of Tidal. I've been a subscriber of Tidal from the beginning, but getting paid a fourth of a cent, that's not what's hidden. It's not, and Tidal pays a penny, but this is not something favorable to artists. So art is going to be put back on the pedestal that it once was on. More artists will have an opportunity to build communities around their art. And I'm looking forward to the Sorority Records DAO. That's what I'm looking forward to, because I feel like everything evolves. When there was 8 tracks, then we went to cassette tapes, then we went to CDs, then we went to streaming. This is what's next. And I believe that art and artists and community, it's going to be more of an interactive thing, and artists will have a role, because when streaming came out, artists didn't really feel like their music was valuable. I believe it was, I don't want to misquote, but I believe it was David Bowie, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, that said music will be free like running tap water. And it's the truth. It's the truth. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. All you have to do is watch some ads. You don't have to pay for it. And the artists suffer. The artists suffer. So I do think that at this point, yes, it is absolutely vital that artists embrace technology, evolve, learn how to build community around your art. And if it's a small community, if it's 3 people, that's okay. Start somewhere, and definitely visit OpenSea, visit voice.com. For those who don't have crypto wallets, voice.com allows you to build an audio NFT without having a crypto wallet. If you don't even know what a crypto wallet is, if you don't know gas prices on Ethereum, cool. Go to voice.com, make your NFT, do it in less than 10 minutes, and you're good.
That is amazing. I didn't even know about that. So you just put me onto something that I can tell all my artist friends to get involved in. So thank you so much. What are you guys most excited about, John and Andrew?
So
go ahead, John.
Kind of what Jeanine was saying was in the evolution of the internet, Web3 kind of gives people more value of what the previous iterations of the internet couldn't do. So talking about the evolution of going from like a scarce CD model to streaming, where it does kind of devalue people's music from a monetary perspective, and from an audience perspective of you can get all the music in the world for free, kind of for free. The thing is, you're going through a platform of Spotify or Tidal, and you're giving them the lion's share of the money. With crypto and Web3 and NFTs and new technologies, artists are given the power to basically crowdsource their own projects through super fans and communities they have, and really building up that artist fan relationship into I think a more powerful entity. So you could sell, a non-fungible token NFT. You could sell which is just a digital thing that people can verifiably own. Like I said before, the biggest technology innovation that you see with Web3 and virtual worlds is you can own digital things now. Like someone owns, people are in Costa Azul right now, and someone is owning that. Someone owns that, and I wish I owned a corner of Festival Land in Decentraland, but so like things like that. You can make something digital, uh, get it to your fans, and your fans now have like a collectible item, and you can attach cool things with that collectible item. It could be like a free concert or behind the scenes stuff or video from an artist to give a fans a more exclusive thing that they pay for and kind of own and show off to other people, and that builds up a more cohesive artist community for their fans. Um, yeah, and I like AR stuff too. I think it's one of the more cooler things. But even with like festivals and things, I know Andrew, you can kind of talk about that. The experiences the artists and uh, music curators can make as technology advances for concerts is going to be amazing. It's going to be really cool.
Thank you. Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like it is a new opportunity to get into real estate in a way, like a new world.
Man, yeah. So I threw events in LA for a few years, and if there's one thing I could really say to artists is uh, even physically, non-digitally, but like get if you have a club, that's the best thing an artist could do, right? So and now people are a little easier access to that with virtual worlds and stuff. It's still uh, a chunk of cash, but even that you can curate communities and events with other artists. And if I would say one thing to artists is to get a venue really. A venue is a really good thing to have.
Especially in the metaverse, it helps artists out financially, not by monetizing, but if they're selling merch or a digital wearable, they don't have to put into production 5,000 smalls and 3,000 mediums and then have leftovers that they can't sell. You can literally provide what you are monetizing on to your fans. If you have a real life sweatshirt to go along with a digital collectible, you know exactly how digital wearables is going to be key. There's a lot of big brands coming into this space. I think NFT ticketing is going to be very big in this space as an entry point to a conference or a festival or a show, providing a real life utility around that, whether it's rewarding a fan with a backstage pass or a meet and greet via a Zoom, or they get kind of pre-sale to an album or whatever it is. So the metaverse really encompasses, I think, events, collectibles, digital ownership, and community all in one.
I love that you said pretty much that it's going to make things easier for artists in whatever it is that they're trying to do, whether it is merch or distribution in their music. Just simplifies a lot of these transactions. And that's what I really want people at home to get. So I really appreciate you touching on that. What are some ideas that those watching now can take with them to gain traction in this space? Basically, how do you promote yourself in the metaverse? How do you make yourself relevant in the metaverse? Jeanine, can you start?
My suggestion would be like Twitter, Clubhouse, Discord. And if you're looking for a community to start, I would suggest the Dow Records Crypto Voxels community, very supportive. BitTrees, Bone Police, Raging Bitcoin. These are all people who understand that this is a new way of doing things, and they welcome artists who want to share. So the biggest thing that I'm seeing about the metaverse is community. Understanding that it's no longer a thing where you have to be an island. People want to collaborate. People want to hear your music. They don't care about this one lofty idea where, okay, well, we're all fighting for the same 200 slots on Billboard. No, more people are saying, this is what I love. And this is what I have to share. Is that what you love? Is that what you have to share? That's the most organic way to build, because I think we're coming to, there will always be the music industry, which is based on not necessarily popularity, but friendship and relationships. But if you don't know any of those people, that doesn't mean that you cannot participate. You can get in the music business. Anybody can get in the music business. As long as you have music and the ability to release it, which you do, and the wherewithal to find people who want what you have to offer and get about, there's no number, but I usually say 10,000 people to buy your record or your NFT whenever it comes out, a fraction of that, you can earn a living doing what you love. And I don't know what better way to live life than contributing something meaningful to society, living out your passion, and engaging with other people who feel the same way. Yes, you can pay promotional companies. Yes, you can use traditional marketing, traditional streaming. You can do all of that, but make sure that you are fulfilled. Make sure that you are doing something because you love it, not because you are fighting for popularity. Because if everybody is a star, what is popularity? If everybody has an Instagram page, if everybody can release music, if everybody can have a YouTube, if everybody can have a TikTok, if everybody can go viral, what exactly are we aiming for now? Make sure whatever you're doing is genuine and you love it and you are willing to share with other people who genuinely love what they do too.
I love that tidbit about networking and building genuine connections. We talk about that a lot at Finessed Media. I encourage people in Decentraland now to share each other's handles, get to know each other's names, interact with each other when you're in that space. And later on today, we will have a networking session. So I'm glad that you touched on that, because it is really important. That's one of the things I learned in my time with Finessed Media, is those genuine connections and everyone trying to achieve the same goal together. Yeah. Andrew, did you have anything to say?
I mean, Jeanine, you said so many gems in that answer. Not much more to add, but I would say that this space is really built around community and trust. So build your community first, and they will allow you to enter this space. They will be with you. They will put you on a stage. They'll let you showcase your work. They'll let you talk about it during a Twitter space or a Clubhouse room. And that's where you have to really start and not be afraid to showcase your work, talk about your project, and ask questions. You know, a lot of these rooms, they don't like you to shill a lot, but you have to start with promoting who you are and what you're about, and then ask those questions and build relationships and community. Because as Jeanine said, there's not that much competition in this space. There's enough room for everyone, and everyone wants to help you out. So just be part of a community. DAO Record seems like an amazing place to start. And if that's your journey and community, then you found a nice little home there.
Thank you. And John, did you have any advice for anyone wanting to make a name for themselves inside of the metaverse? Or even, how do you make an NFT or a product in the metaverse relevant?
Yeah, so the key to the metaverse is people. You know, it is the people that engage with the content you put out. Before it is very gated with other platforms, and now what is making those roads of value is the people that give it value, which has always kind of been the same, but it could be less so if you have a lot of money or a lot of power. And you know that there's a tiny bit of a shift gradually towards a people power of music. So I say that this is another tool in marketing yourself with music. If you have 5 people that might be hard to make a living off music, unless those 5 people really love you and give you a bunch of money every month. So that is to say that even if you put out a digital piece of art or a digital track on OpenSea and make it an NFT, if you don't have a strong community that loves you and that you reciprocate back and forth and have a cool relationship with, your track is virtually worthless in the eyes of the marketplace of consumers who take in your music, which could mean nothing. If you really like just making music for you, that's awesome. I basically do that. But if you and most people will make a community, and the more you give to that community, the more valuable that relationship becomes, and the more valuable your work becomes, and the more value that someone in that community feels when they're interacting with your work and interacting with a fan base on Discord or email or Instagram or TikTok or whatever social media platform is big in 6 years. So yeah, the key to the metaverse is people, relationship, and the value you give to those people.
People, relationships, the values that you give to those people. I love that. I love that a lot. I want to talk to the creators in the building for a second and give you guys a scenario-based question. If you were to create a new release campaign exclusively in the metaverse, what would you do? How would you set that up? Andrew, can you start us off with that one?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the points that we've already been talking about, find your kind of metaverse entry point through a community. So if it's this person, Natalie, that I was talking about, and she's putting on a festival and the timing kind of works with your release, get a slot on a stage. And once you're booked, work backwards and say, all right, I've got 2 weeks, a month. Let me start promoting, teasing it, talking about it. Maybe say, I'm going to perform one of my songs for the first time. You're only going to hear it on this stage in this metaverse. So make big events out of what you're doing to drive people. Even if it's a free event, maybe if you're into minting NFTs, maybe, the first 10 people that repost my thing on Twitter, I'll send them a free NFT, which could maybe just be a poster of the event with my name on it, whatever it is, right? But give your fans a reason to come and a reason for them to start telling other people as well. So not much different to a traditional release. If you were to release on Spotify, a lot of the same kind of marketing and promotion has to go. But, once you have your kind of booking and launch plan, then work backwards.
Okay.
And start promoting.
Definitely. I like that idea of collaborating with someone who's already performing in the metaverse and collaborating with people who are already large in the metaverse, already doing something that coincides with your own release. Also,
exactly. If you're booked on a festival stage with 10 other people, you're going to be in that tweet every time the festival or any of the other 10 acts start promoting. It's the same as this festival. I've been on a shout out for every time you guys and the other panelists tweet. So it's almost free promotion to everyone's little community. So,
And then Jeanine, for your artist and your record label, how would you do a release in the metaverse?
Well, the first thing I would do is definitely make sure that I'm connected with a DAO, decentralized organization. The thing about DAOs is the governance is the people. And I encourage everybody to research DAO, find DAOs, get on Twitter and figure out, what you're going to do. But through DAOs, you will find out, okay, well, we're having a scavenger hunt over here. We're having an event a week before. Why don't you come out? Be participant. I don't think that the rollouts that have traditionally happened, which involve promotional companies, ads, I don't think that's necessary anymore. And I do believe since the metaverse is so new, you have to start on a grassroots level. So I made the mistake of blowing a bag on all of these things related to promotion. And what I would do and what I have decided to do is deal with the people who want to participate. If somebody wants to hear you, they're going to participate. I know this is hard because we can basically, the music industry can be bought entirely. Anybody can buy anything. You can make everything look bigger than it is. Piece the Dame. You can make it look bigger than it is. And at this time, because the metaverse is so new, I would advise not doing that. Tell the truth. Who wants to hear your music? Get those people together and tell them about it. Email them, invite them out, invite them to other events, keep in touch, and deal with the people who want to deal with you and grow from there. It's okay. Never despise small and humble beginnings, because when Facebook started, I believe it was a few people, and Mark was like, "Are you getting down or what?" No. Okay, well, we billionaires and you not. That's how I feel. I feel like if you want to be a part of somebody else's evolution in something that is so new that you can still buy land, you can still participate in the development of it, why not do that? Why not start with who wants to start with you? I think that it's time now to stop corralling and coercing people and blasting them with something that they've never heard. No, these are the people that I talk to. I'm going to continue to talk to them, and I'm going to invite them out. And because they like it, they're going to tell somebody else organically. That's how I would do it.
Yeah. Awesome advice. John, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, exactly that. What this new technology of the internet is going towards is just complete transparency of, of companies, of people more so, but it is basically a roundabout back to organic, genuine relationships of people, which is, a lot of people have that flag of Web3 of like, this is what the internet was supposed to be. And so going towards super organic, super genuine, having that community, like I said, of people that you interact with, people that value what you're putting out and you value them back. But things that people can do right now, you could have a ticket for an online show or even a physical show. Mint that as an NFT on OpenSea. You could be a cover. Like a lot of what has been cool in the past of music is having concert posters. You now make that digital. You use that as a ticket for a concert, either online or physical. And people have that as a collectible now. They show it off to people. This hasn't been brought up, but when people are reselling NFTs of a collectible that they bought from an artist, the artist gets royalties from that every trade they make. So it gives artists power, monetary power, to give people incentive to either hold on to things, trade it for more value if you're in the speculative music poster market. But things like that, definitely, it's like I said, it's an extension of what it was before. Is an extension of marketing and music of what it was before. It's not completely changing the game, but it's moving where the game is and how people can interact with that game and own that game. So it is extremely organic in the relationships you make with your community and other people, peers in the space, and that's only going to get more transparent. And if you don't have value, if people don't perceive what you're giving as value, you have to be super transparent with yourself and say, all right, people aren't enjoying this. If I want people to enjoy something, I'll have to change. And if I don't want to change, then, really just freaking bludgeon your way into someone that does enjoy your stuff.
Super cool. Super cool. And for a moment, because you guys have all touched on a lot of ideas that people can do within the metaverse. So I kind of want to shower them with a bunch of ideas so that when they walk away, they're just super inspired. So what new opportunities are there for promotion within the metaverse and connecting with an audience, connecting with a fan? So John, you kind of touched on it, like having digital tickets or backstage passes. Andrew, you spoke about having an image on a virtual garment. So just any more ideas that you guys have that you can share with them so that they can implement that into their own strategies. And I'll have Jeanine kick us off with that one.
Okay. Well, what I would suggest in terms of resources, Facebook groups, there is a great Facebook group that I'm a part of called the Metaverse Research. It's just like it sounds, the Metaverse Research. OpenSea has a Facebook group called NFT collectibles. NFT, I believe it's called the NFT collectibles. It's an OpenSea group, but if you type in NFT collectors, and then there's an NFT Chronicles. There's an OpenSea NFTs group. You can get on Twitter, follow DAO Records, Bone Police, BitTrees. You can follow Record Sorority, that's me. And you can follow, of course, the hashtags Web3, NFT, Moda, like just make sure that when you're participating, you decide on the DAO that works for you, or you decide on what group you jive with. Some people prefer crypto voxels. I'm into crypto voxels. When I go to DAOs, drops, or I'm meeting up with my people, we're in crypto voxels. Some people go to Sandbox. Others are in Decentraland. So it really depends on what vibes with you, but understand that this is very new. It's whatever you decide it is. At this point, what I want to contribute to the metaverse is accessibility. The phones have gotten to the point where it's one press of a button and you log in. It's a login. Right now, if we're honest with this community, you need a crypto wallet. You got to go through all these steps. Okay, that's cool, but when are we going to get it to the point where we're at a push of a button? So you decide what you want to have to contribute to the metaverse. You decide, because I already do music. That's it. You can find me as Jeanine doing music, but as far as the metaverse, it's whatever you decide it is. So what do you want to see in the metaverse? What do you want to contribute? And do that. That's my suggestion. Do what you want to see. Create the environment that you've always wanted. It is possible now.
Yes, I love that. I always tell people you can do anything. Because I was like, everyone's like, oh, do I have to make art? Like, do I have to be a painter to be able to sell an NFT? Do I have to be an artist to sell an NFT? I'm like, an NFT could be anything at all. You can get involved in anything in the metaverse at all. You just have to expand your mind. Andrew, do you have any ideas for people that they can kind of take from you?
Well, I mean, if you're just starting off, from the groups that you would have now been part of, go to all of these worlds, go to some of these festivals, go to listen to an artist that's promoting them and see what they do. And you can basically learn their steps by seeing, from a fan, go into these worlds, see how easy it is so you can educate your fans. Setting up a MetaMask to enter into Decentraland, it's actually easy, but you have to have the wallet first. But there is a way to go in as a guest, so know the point of entrance of all these worlds so you can educate your fans and just try everything out and just see everything, right? Experience it as a fan, and then as an artist you'll know your path and how you can perceive it from a fan's point of view.
Very cool.
Ultimately that's who you want to serve, right? Your community. So, and enter in as a fan, and then you'll be able to learn.
Definitely.
Cool.
John, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, that education part is something that people do right away. If you go into these worlds and put your head into research of hours of yourself experiencing metaverse or OpenSea, NFTs, crypto stuff, you can be the education point for your music audience to integrate themselves into the metaverse. That is what a lot of people are doing right now, is using education as the platform to become a thought leader and a place where people can go to for a trustworthy access to this new technology and as it emerges. Like I said, tickets arts minted on a blockchain. So NFTs is something people could do right away. Researching digital clothing will be interesting for sure. If you're a non-musician artist or works with someone who does art, getting into the digital art side will be super important. Even making relationships with digital artists, if you are solely a musician, will be fruitful just because they are the architect of digitalness. Um, Researching what these companies that are making virtual worlds kind of bigger, like Adidas and these cats, seeing what they're doing, going on nerdy marketing sites. Um, if you will find a lot if you just Google things for days on end, and it compounds over time, and you wake up a few months later, and then you know more than like 98% of the world, especially now because this is basically like the 2000 of the internet in terms of year. Like people are still literally making code for these things, and you can go into Discord and Twitter Spaces and hear the people that are making these things because everything is open and transparent with mostly with how they're making it. Um, yeah, there's literally like everyone is saying, what virtual worlds and metaverses are showing is that uh, when you put your mind and plan of action into something, you can make an entire community of valuable things, just like you can, in a non-virtual world. But I think as people are experiencing the world virtually, you can take that same aspect of of building things, building empires in virtual worlds, and make that expand out into the physical world as well.
Super dope. Yeah, thank you for that. I think it's cool that anyone can really get involved in it, and that's really the idea. And you guys have pretty much reiterated the importance of building connections in this space, in any space, when it comes to getting involved in the music industry or getting involved in the metaverse, and also just creating quality work and researching and just putting yourself out there and allowing yourself to be that kind of like that guinea pig and be excited about it. We are going to segue into our audience Q&A, but before we do that, I want to give you all an opportunity to talk about your projects and what you're working on and how people can find you and support you. So John, can you just start us off on anything that you're working on that people should know about or that you're excited about?
Yeah, so adobehouse.live/contact if you want to get in touch with me and my team too. You don't have to be a giant brand. You can be a personal brand of just one person doing music, and can sit down and talk either a full-fledged marketing scheme for you or just education on Web3 and stuff. Uh, John David Ricker on everything. Gonna be rolling out content on TikTok for educational stuff. So if you need anything with creative or marketing, adobehouse.live/contact, and John David Ricker on social platforms.
Great, thank you so much. And Jeanine, where can people find you? What are you working on? What's to be excited about?
Yes, I am working on the Girl World Metaverse, which is basically a metaverse for women. I believe that women and men experience life, play games, hear music totally different. We're not the same. We're similar, but we're not the same. So Girl World is the metaverse that I'm developing. You can find it right now. I want it to be accessible on mobile phones. So it is accessible now in iOS and Android. Just type in Girl World and Girl World by Sorority Records, and it'll come right up. I also have a couple of other games. I have My Knife by Sorority Records and Sorority Records Chocolate Bop. Both of those games are also available on Android and iOS. You can also go to Amazon to get Sorority Records VR World, which you can use the cardboard glasses if you don't want to pay the $300 for the Oculus glasses. You can use the cardboard glasses to just hear original music and look at a prototype of a virtual mall. You can find me on Instagram at Sorority Records. And basically anything with Sorority Records, that's my SoundCloud, that's my Facebook, anything that comes up with Sorority Records, that's where I am. If you want to email me and you want to participate, or you want somebody to introduce you to someone at bittrees.org or Dow Records, or you want to work with any of the artists associated with that, please email me at CEO@sororityrecords.com, CEO@sororityrecords.com. I welcome artists who want an in crypto voxels in the community. I would love to be the conduit for that. Please email me if you're interested in finding out about joining a community that would be interested in your NFTs. And of course, I have some Christmas music. If you go to my Instagram this week, you will see some Christmas music and some interesting videos around Christmas, basically Friday and Saturday. So I'm always excited to collaborate with people who want to participate. I'm interested in your music too. I know a lot of times record labels, everything is one-sided. I don't want to be a one-sided company. Sorority Records is a digital record label with connections to the music industry and the music business, which maybe in the networking session, we could talk about how those are two different things. But I encourage people to reach out to me. LinkedIn, I'm under Jeanine Smith, and of course, Sorority Records. And yes, I welcome you all. CEO@sororityrecords.com, Instagram, Sorority Records. That's the best place to find me.
Thank you so much. And Andrew, where can people find you?
Oh, it's hard to follow that. You are a boss. Holy crap. Schiffman is on Twitter. I have a social tap, which is like a link tree, but better. So you can find all my socials there. As far as what I'm going on, there's a lot I unfortunately can't talk about, but big things will happen in the beginning of 2022. Trust me. One of the platforms I'm with, Rally, they are, as I said, building digital economies for creators. They're not a platform, so they are building out integrations to be able to interact, transact, and experience the coin in platforms where communities are. So I could see a lot being developed in the metaverse for people that are on the Rally network to be able to transact, gate access to coin holders in the metaverse. So I could see a lot of integration for current coin holders there. And follow me, my DMs are open. And watch this space. It's gonna blow up. We are just beginning.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you for being so accessible. That really changes the game for people, just to know that there's somebody that they can go to for help or guidance. So thank you guys for sharing your handles and sharing what you're working on so that people can find you and continue this conversation. We do have quite a few audience questions for you guys. We have a little bit of time, so if you guys can keep these answers a little shorter, that'll be helpful, just so we can get to as many questions as we can. First audience question is, how can an indie artist or aspiring professional choose the best tactics and events to get and keep fans involved or excited? Anyone can start.
Don't spend too much money. The thing about this is it's very tempting to buy your way in, and it's not worth it in the long run. So the smartest thing to do, and take it from someone who has made mistakes, I'm not even going to do it, but don't buy your way in, share genuinely, and get in community. Like, that's the best way to do it. Get in community or create a community of your own.
And how do you find events that are happening in the metaverse or other artists in the metaverse that you could collaborate with?
To be part of these communities, you will just know everything that's going on. You'll start following people. You'll start friending people on Instagram and Twitter, and you will just be integrated into this space, and you'll just know.
John,
you've got to integrate, yeah.
The more you interact with all these groups that, like people have been saying, and you can search Decentraland events or look up metaverse music, metaverse marketing. But keep it organic. Find the people that, like Jeanine said, want to be with you as an artist, and keep that dialogue as open as it can be. Show everything you can, and give them education or insights that they find worthy in their life to keep interacting with you.
Okay, awesome. And once you have built a virtual community, what's the best way to translate that back to the real world community?
NFTs are a good way. Like I
Okay.
said, so you're creating, you have that virtual community. You have people buying something that you can translate from digital to physical in terms of utilities with concerts, or meetups. So you can find people that interact with you, and then give them something that they think is cool in a digital collectible, and put embed perks in that are physical.
Super cool. And any other, Andrew, do you have anything to say? I think you.
Yeah, I mean, building your community around Web3 allows you to interact with them wherever you are, right? So the metaverse is just another extension of your interactivity with your fans. You're still going to book live shows in the real world. You're going to offer those experiences and the utilities. And I'm doing a drop on OpenSea. This month, I'm focusing on the metaverse, but encompassing your community into everything you've got going on and providing them with that ownership and sense of, that your fans are worth something, right? They're not fans anymore. They're community members. So interaction is key, and creating good content. They need to be rewarded. You can't go silent for 6 months, right? So map out a plan for a year on how you can interact with your community, with teasing, engaging, rewarding, and hopefully monetizing. So
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I agree with all of that. I think we have time for about 2 more questions. One question that kind of came up a lot was, and I think they just want kind of a list of platforms that they can go to get involved. So I want to give this one to Jeanine, because I think you did a really good job at name dropping a lot of communities and a lot of platforms that people can utilize. So one more time, you can just run through each platform, each community, what it does, what it would be useful for, so that people can jot that down and take that home with them.
Sure. So for NFTs, number one, of course, OpenSea.io is number one. Voice.com would be the number 2 place, in my opinion, to make NFTs for people whose fan base or relatives who may want to support them don't have a crypto wallet or don't know what a crypto wallet is. You can use US dollars to buy over there on voice.com. The next thing I would suggest would be DAO Records. Artists need to follow what DAO Records is doing. They support artists. They have DAO drops. So if you get clicked in with DAO Record, you will be able to release your music as a NFT and have a DAO drop where you're interviewed. There'll be a party. People will be dancing in crypto voxels and listen to your music, and people will be receptive and want to hear about your process and what you have to do. Another thing I would suggest would be the hashtags Web3, Metaverse, audio, NFT, and like Moda on Twitter. Through these hashtags, you will find out about events. There are a lot of events that happen every day. There are scavenger hunts. There are concerts. There are DJ, people are DJing in the metaverses. Show up and talk, and you'll get right in. And also use the hashtags on your post. If you're posting something, find someone who has high engagement and copy their hashtags. Just make sure that you are clear that it's not going to be something that's instant. Community means that you're giving as well as taking. If you show up, and I had to learn this, I'm talking to myself, if you show up at a community and all you want to do is take, you're likely not going to get very far. But if you're sharing and you're showing up to other people's events, they're going to show up for yours.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. That is all of our time for today. Big shout out to Andrew, Jeanine, and John. Thank you for a lovely conversation. I know that the audience members gained a lot about that, or gained a lot from that. Moving forward, we're going to pass it over to my friend and colleague, Tammy Henderson, to introduce us to the Creating Music with AI panel. Super excited. So thank you guys again, and I will see you in Decentraland.